With so many settings in and out of CSGO, there's always a ton of different things that affect your FPS. So today, I'm going to be talking about some options regarding both in-game settings in CS and some other things you can adjust in your PC settings that should increase your FPS in CSGO. And honestly, it'll help in other games too. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. But for now, let's get right into it. The first option that I want to go over personally increased my FPS by 25, and it requires adjusting some system settings, graphics settings, and power settings on your PC. So let's first go over the system settings aspect. All you have to do to start is go to the search bar in the bottom left hand corner of your PC and search up game mode settings, and make sure that it's turned off if it wasn't already. After that, right click on your desktop and go to the Nvidia control panel. Adjust image settings with preview and click use my preference emphasizing and make sure it's set to performance rather than quality. Before closing out the Nvidia settings, go into manage 3D settings, which is right below the one you just went to, and make sure the screenshot of these settings are the exact same. You'll have to scroll down a bit to see them, but just know all of these settings are pretty much just used to make your graphics card focus more on performance rather than making things look good. So you are going to have to sacrifice a bit of quality for better FPS, but considering CS isn't really a game that people play for graphics, I'd say it's a pretty fair trade-off. Personally for me, this raised my FPS from about 149 to 173, so just about 25, which isn't really bad at all considering it doesn't really require you to do anything besides some small changes. But I think it'll help a lot more for lower end PCs. Also, if you're wondering how I'm checking these numbers, there's a great workshop map called FPS Benchmark that can show you your average FPS in CS. And it's honestly a great way of testing if this is working well for you guys, as if you don't use it, you're kinda just gonna have to eyeball and see how the game feels. So yeah, it'll be linked in the description if you want to check it out. But after testing this, another option that you could do is going into your control panel, go to hardware and sounds, power options, and setting that to high performance. Personally, this didn't really seem to affect my FPS that much, but I've seen it work for other people and I've heard good things about it. So if you feel like you still aren't happy with your FPS or want an extra boost, it's something to test out. And you could always change it back if it doesn't work for you. But I wouldn't say it's some huge thing that's gonna give you plus 50 FPS or anything like that. Which is why I now want to go into game settings, which definitely is the best way to increase your FPS if some of your settings are off. The only settings that majorly affect your FPS in game are resolution, the top 4 settings in video settings, and some other small things. The top 4 settings in your video settings should all be set to low if you want your best FPS, but once again, you're obviously going to have to sacrifice a bit of visuals for this. So if you're okay with that, you're definitely going to get an FPS boost, I can guarantee you that. But this is definitely the main way to get better FPS in CSGO. It's pretty obvious, but along with playing on a lower resolution, that's another great thing you could do. And I feel like a lot of newer players tend to just stick on their native resolution, which is 16:9 usually, 1920x1080. But playing on stretched or black bars can be especially helpful to FPS, and honestly, a lot of players, including myself, prefer playing on it in general. I mean, considering most pros don't even play on 16:9, only like 7% of them I think, and I really recommend trying it if you haven't yet, as it has a lot of other benefits, makes the game look smoother, and of course it's better for FPS. But if you don't like the way stretch resolutions look, just make sure you're playing on full screen rather than windowed full screen, as although it may seem obvious, windowed full screen has an absolute ton of input delay, and it doesn't go away unless you play full screen. There's like nothing you could do about it, so don't play windowed full screen, always try to play in full screen. The only other in-game settings you really have to worry about is keeping multi-sampling anti-aliasing disabled, VSync disabled, but be sure to keep multi-core rendering enabled. And that's all you really have to know for in-game settings. And finally, as for launch options, since a lot of people are going to be asking about that, and I feel like it's just super oversaturated online if you're looking up FPS tutorials and how to get better FPS in CSGO, none of them really do that much. Like, if none of these things I stated previously do anything, it honestly is probably just a PC issue, and you might have to upgrade your PC in general, unfortunately, as this isn't like some miracle work and can't just like upgrade your PC for you. Like, this is just kinda here to help you get slightly better FPS. But hopefully these tips did help you guys out a bit. But for now, that pretty much does wrap it up for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.